Like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable?
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me. Good morning, everyone. It has officially been 5 years since Vanessa Hudgens blessed us with that horrible display of public decency. Wait, is that even the right word to say? Public decency. No, I don't think that's what I'm meaning to say. Okay, so I googled and I meant human decency. If you guys are unaware of what that video clip is, she was on live, I think it was Instagram Live or something, and I don't know if she's been in a while now that she's married and has a baby, but Vanessa Hudgens is known for being like one of the queens of Coachella, the music festival, and they canceled it in 2020 because, can anybody guess why? Because of COVID, and they said they're going to push it back to July, which I don't know if that's accurate because July in Palm Springs, a music festival, like people, not to, no pun intended, but people would probably die. Like it's way too hot. So I don't know what she means. Like, but now that I'm thinking it, I didn't even put that part in there, so you guys weren't aware of it. At the beginning of this video, she says, July? She's like, no, I don't think so. She's like, I get it's a virus and I respect it. I just love that part. You respect a virus. Anyway, she's basically saying they might as well continue to have Coachella because people are going to die regardless if they have it or not. And I don't know. It went viral. Like everyone was talking about it. And it has been 5 years. Can you believe that? It has been 5 years since COVID. That I just can't even wrap my head around that. That is so weird. It feels like just yesterday, and then at some points in my life, it feels like, was that really a thing? Like you'll just see like remnants of the, the pandemic, like faded stickers on the floor that say "Please stand 6 feet apart." You like see a mask or something, and you're like, whoa, that just brought back like flashbacks. I remember at work we had to wear masks all the time. It was so frustrating. But as did everyone else, and we made it through, and it was a horrible thing. But it's been 5 years. 5 years since Vanessa Hudgens blessed us with that I don't know, quote, I guess you could say now. Anyway, let's talk about me for a minute. I went to Phoenix last week. Yeah, last week. I'm pretty sure I told you guys about it because I had to record the day before I left. It was great. It was so nice. I genuinely like Phoenix a lot. And it was like the perfect weather. It was like 80 degrees, 75, 80 degrees. It rained a little bit while I was there. So you're welcome, Phoenix, for me bringing the rain because it rains probably like not very much there. We did a lot of shopping. I will say Phoenix has some of the best shopping I've ever been to. And it's like on par with Vegas. I feel like Vegas has really good shopping just because, well, obviously. But Phoenix has really good, like a selection of stores and multiple of them. So like, there's an Abercrombie that I really like in Glendale, right next to the State Farm Stadium, which is where Taylor Swift first started her Eras tour, which was also 2 years ago, I think, as of yesterday, or the day before. It's also where Katy Perry performed her smash global hit Super Bowl performance. Still the best one to date. Anyway, there's a strip mall kind of by there, and outlet mall, I guess I should say. They have an Abercrombie, and usually they have a lot better options. This time they didn't. Like they have like their main store selection, and then you can go in the back and they have a huge clearance section, and it's always like at least 60% off the marked down price. So I did get a lot of stuff there, some outfits for Coachella, and at the front they had these shorts that I wanted, these denim shorts, but I don't want the denim shorts that are tight. I want them like looser. And they only had 3 on display up front. I'm like, well, do they have more somewhere else? I was like, hey, do you guys have more than just those 3 shorts up there? They're like, oh no, sorry, that's all we have. I'm like, you only have 3 pairs of shorts to sell in this whole store. They're like, yeah, sorry. I'm like, okay. So then I was like, sorry, Angelina. I went with my friend Angelina, by the way. She lives down there. I was like, we have to go to Scottsdale as well because I need to go to the Abercrombie there because that's like a legit, like, anchor. Well, not that doesn't make sense. Like, not an outlet one. It's just a regular Abercrombie. So they actually didn't even have a clearance section there. Isn't that wild? But I knew they'd have more shorts, and we walked in, and they had just like a whole table just full of the shorts I wanted. I'm like, that is so weird that other store didn't have it. Anyway, so I had 2 Abercrombies. What I'm saying is, you can go to multiple of the same store in Phoenix. So if you don't like one of them, you can just like drive 20 minutes to a different one, and they'll most likely have what you want. What else did we do? We went and lay by the pool. I haven't laid by the pool in a long time, but it just felt right. It just felt good. There was like not a cloud in the sky, and no one was at the pool. Um, yeah, it was really fun. I thoroughly enjoy Phoenix. I have a friend that used to live in Phoenix, and she was telling me about how last time she went down, she went to this store that she used to go to a lot. It's called Last Chance, and it's basically like a bargain store, and it it's like everything's marked down like a lot, but it's not used stuff. It's not like a thrift store. So what I learned though when we got there, it's really weird. You walk into this weird mall and then you go downstairs and like there's a storefront downstairs. It's kind of weird. But I found out is owned by Nordstrom, which I'm very shocked that Nordstrom would put their name on this store because it was a disaster. It was just pure chaos inside. And you know when you go into dressing rooms and you see like the dust bunnies like piled up in the corner and you're like, how does a store get this dirty, this dusty? But you know what I'm talking about. There's just like dust everywhere and they don't really take the time to clean that well. This place I don't think has been cleaned since like 1988, but they have racks and racks and racks of clothing. Like so many, you walk in and it like is overwhelming. Of course the men's section is not as big as the women's, but so like I went and did my own thing and Angelina did her own thing and she only did like a fraction of her section. But I was on a mission to find anything and everything. I actually got this really nice 100% cashmere sweater. It's so soft. I got it home though and realized it's dry clean only, so that is annoying. But I got it for like 25 bucks. There were a lot of things in that store. I'm like, this just needs to be burned. Like, we don't need to continue to try and sell this because I think this store is what Nordstrom Rack, which is kind of like the place Nordstrom sends all their stuff that they can't sell to Nordstrom Rack, and it's fairly nice. Like you can find really good stuff there. It's clean. It's nice. I think this is a store that not even Nordstrom Rack can sell stuff. But I'm not kidding you when I tell you saw the same pair of lime green leather pants like 12 times. I'm like, okay, first of all, who decided to make these? Second of all, who decided to keep trying to sell these? And third, can someone give me the matches and I will just start like a pile of stuff on fire because this stuff does not even need to be like don't try anymore. It's not worth it. You know, like the big huge fashion companies like Versace and Louis Vuitton, Gucci, like they burn their clothes because they want their value to stay high. And if they see their clothes in these kind of stores, then that like imagine going to Ross and finding a Gucci shirt. Like it would just make the value of that go down. I'm not saying if you shop at Ross like you have no class because I think we've all shopped at Ross. But like in the back of your mind, you're always like, well, what's wrong with this stuff? Like, is there something wrong with it? And usually there is. There's usually a defect of stuff. That's why it's at Ross. Or some of the time it's just because they can't sell it. They just have too much inventory. But that's how fashion houses stay, relevant and expensive is because they don't let, if stuff that doesn't sell, they have to send it back and they burn it, which they're like a leading cause of global warming and like destruction of the planet. But that's how they keep their value. Anyway, so I went through the racks. I found a Lucky Brand shirt that I really am excited to wear for summer with some of my new denim shorts, and then that cashmere sweater. And then we were kind of over by the shoe section, and I went to try and walk into it. And like, every aisle I walked down, they had ropes like up, and there were people standing in line. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I went and tried a different aisle. And then I realized the whole section was blocked off. I'm like, what is going on here? I was like, well, we can go. She's like, well, what's over there? I'm like, well, it's just the shoes, but I don't know why it's closed. She's like, well, should we wait and see? I'm like, we might as well. We have nothing else to do. And we got behind this lady in line, and she's like, ugh, I hate it when it's like this. She's like, there's a sale going on right now, so it's pure chaos in here. I'm like, is that why it's so busy in here? She's like, yeah. And so they open the ropes, and they're like, Kate, no running, no pushing, like orderly fashion, be considerate. They drop the ropes, and like grown men are running, sprinting into the store. And they're like, hey, sir, stop running, sir. They're like yelling at him. But they know what they're doing because this guy, was shoving and pushing. It was so annoying. He was like breathing down my neck, even though he's shorter than me. And he was grabbing every pair of On shoes that he could find. By the way, the On running shoes are the best running shoes I've ever had in my life, just FYI. Anyway, so I think he would go and resell stuff because he, like, literally, he wouldn't even look at sizes. He picked every On shoe from every size. And I was like, I'm not even going to try and deal with this. So I did. My friend told me that when she went, she found like Skims. I was like, really? How interesting. And so I was kind of walking around. And I saw this huge table. It was like, it had like cubbies in it, and it was full of underwear. I'm like, I'm like, okay, let's get down to business. All the underwear was like opened. It wasn't used, but it was like all opened. And so you literally have to just pick through everything. There's no size like sections. It's just all a free for all. And so I literally searched like two of the bins, and I found some Skims underwear, and I'm like, they're not even my size, but I'm going to buy them. So I did, and then Angelina comes over and she's like, what is this? I'm like, it's Skims. I'm like, I found a couple of women's Skims underwear, and she's like, oh, okay. So we're both like going through, and any Skims we see, we just grab. And some lady's like, what size are you guys looking for? We're like, well, we're looking for just the brand Skims. She's like, oh, just like any like size? We're like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not kidding you. When we say we've touched every single piece of underwear on that table, we did. I got 5 pairs of Skims underwear for $10, you guys. $10. And I think Angelina got, I don't know, like 3 or 4 for 5. I'm like, this is great. And I don't think any of them were my size. And I still bought them. But they actually fit pretty well. I'm not going to lie. So it's a win. A win is a win. Yeah, so that is kind of what happened to me this week. I had to go down there and drive my sister's car home, so I was like, well, I might as well make a day of it, or a trip of it, and stay with Angelina. And then we went and had dinner with our friend Ty, and that was really fun. And I gotta say, like, Phoenix is kind of like a poppin' place. Their drivers there are absolutely crazy and insane, but there's a lot of people down there and a lot to do. Just FYI. But I would probably avoid going down in like, I don't know, June, July, August, September, those crazy months. Um, but yeah. Oh, Angelina also made this pasta, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. It is delicious. I don't even know what the name is. I think she told me, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember. But it was like sausage with bow tie pasta, spinach, heavy whipping cream, mozzarella cheese, and there was something else that she put in there. Anyway, it was delicious, and I cannot stop thinking about it. Yeah, so anyway, I kind of went shopping for Coachella because my whole life kind of revolves around Coachella at this moment. I finally got my ticket, I guess you could say. It's more of a wristband, but it came in like this box with like tons of papers and I don't know stuff. I'm like, is this really necessary? Like, can you like lower the prices of the tickets and just not do all this fancy stuff? But I am working out every single day, some kind of workout. I'm trying to get at least 10,000 steps a day. I am lifting weights 3 or 4 times a week. I am going to start running again. And I will look good, you guys. But like my eyebrows are overgrown right now. I'm kind of in an ugly phase. And I'm kind of just going with it because I know in a few weeks when I start to like put myself together, I'll look good again. Um, my hair needs a major haircut. I'm trying to like not grow it out, but I want it longer. But I don't know if anyone else has this problem. The hair on my temples will not grow. Like it will only get to a certain point and then it'll kind of just stop growing. And it's like all scraggly. The rest of my hair is fine. Like the rest of my hair grows really well, but my temples, I don't know what it is. And I've talked to people about this and they don't seem to have this issue. But like like there's long hair all over my head and then just these scraggly pieces on the sides of my head and I had to like glue them down. It's so embarrassing. But I'm like, I don't know if this is from years of just having it so short that I kind of just gave up, or if it's some kind of like genetic thing or what is going on. But anyway, catch me in a few weeks and I'll be looking my old self again. But should we move on? We have a lot to talk about today actually. So we talked about Dolly Parton. Her husband passed away 2 weeks ago. Carl Dean is what his name was, and she released a new song and it's really sweet. So the song is called If You Hadn't Been There. I'm just going to read you a few of the lyrics. It says, if you hadn't been you, well, who would I be? You always see the best of me. Your loving arms have cradled me. You held me close and I believe I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there, holding my hand, showing me you care. You made me dream more than I dared, and I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there. I was like, oh, that is so sweet. She's probably so. How long were they married? Like 60 years? Something like that? Could you imagine being married that long and then they just like are not there anymore? That makes me really, really sad. Speaking of Dolly Parton, her amusement park, Dollywood, has been opened for 40 years. They just opened again for the new season, and this is their 40th year. And I want to go here so bad, you guys. It's in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, and it just looks like this fun, wholesome, like family place, but also like with really cool rides. Some of like the best roller coasters I've seen, honestly. And I was looking at their season passes, you guys. Their season pass starts at $134, and the most expensive is $250. And with the $250, and you can do payment plans. Oh my gosh, they just are so much better than some other park that I will mention in just a second. With the highest one, you get there's no blackout dates. There's 15% off dining and shopping, and $10 discount on a 1-day ticket. So, what I'm getting at is this is a 1 billion times better deal than Lagoon. Lagoon is Utah's amusement park, and it is fun, but it's not like fun. You know what I mean? It's like okay, and it's just like a good place to go to, kind of get your fix. If you can't make it to a real amusement park like Six Flags or Universal Studios or Dollywood, because the roller coasters are just like babies. They're not really that big. Like Cannibal is pretty big, I guess, but Wicked, it's only fun for the first like 20 seconds, and then it's kind of like, okay, can we get off now? But their season passes are $200. $200. That doesn't even include parking, and there's no kind of discount ever, like anywhere else. No discount on food, no discount on merch, which I don't know why you buy merch at Lagoon, but I'm like, you guys, you need to get a hold of yourselves and take a page out of Dolly's book. But anyway, catch me someday going to Dollywood because I really, really want to go, and it looks so fun. All right, what's next on the agenda? Lil Nas X I thought it was just one new song. It is 5, I think. This is from an article. It says, has an artist ever rolled out a new song by surprise leading a bunch of new songs before it? Lil Nas X might be the first. This week he unveiled the new track Every Day. Monday's Dream Boy, Tuesday's Big Dummy, Wednesday's Swish, Thursday's Right There, to prepare fans for Hotbox, which is finally out now. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've listened to any of it. I think I listened to Swish and it was okay, but he really fell from grace, didn't he? He was like super popular and like on top of the game, and then he did that whole like Jesus Christian thing and like lost a lot of followers and clout and stuff. Even I was kind of like, I don't like do religion, but this is kind of like, I don't know, you're going a little too far, I think. Kind of stepping on some toes. But do you guys remember or I guess it's Broadway now, but the play I went to in Boston, The Queen of Versailles? It's about the family, it's a true story, that is building the biggest house in America based off the Palace of Versailles in France, which I did not know that is not in Paris. Did you know that? It's like outside of Paris. I had no idea. It's like it used to be in like this swamp, like farmland thing, and whoever was the king or queen, I think it was a king at that time, wanted it farther away from the city for some reason. Can't remember why, but he did. Um, Anyway, I went to the very first showing ever. Me and my cousin Sadie, when we were there, she went for a work conference. So I was like, I'm going with you, and I convinced her to change the dates of our trip because we were going to get there a day earlier and leave the day before the play. And I was like, can we go and leave the day after the play, because I really, really want to see this. And Kristen Chenoweth is the main star of it. She's the queen. And I was like, please, please, please. So we did. It was very good. I loved it. And it was like a short run in Boston before they decided if they were going to take it to Broadway or not. And they are. It is going to Broadway. Tickets go on sale June 5th. It's at the St. James Theater. I kind of Googled to see where that's at, and it's really close to Times Square, just FYI. So if you want to go, if you want to see Kristen Chenoweth in something, this is a really good play. Is it a play or a musical? It's a musical because they sing. And it's just really interesting. It's this lady who grew up in a small town in New York, and she went to school and became a computer engineer, I think. She married this guy who turned out to be a terrible, horrible person. She kind of took her and her daughter and like ran away. Then she needed money, so she moved to Florida and to get away from him. And then she needed money, so she tried out for Miss Florida pageant or something and won. And I think that is where she met her husband, who is the billionaire who owns the Westgate Resorts. And she just became a billionaire overnight. A billionairess is what they call her. And I don't know, it's just kind of like truly like a rags to riches story. I don't think she was like poor, like awful, but compared to where she is now, it's very different. There's a SpongeBob theme park coming to Texas, and it's actually not just specifically SpongeBob. They're doing a mini Universal park in Texas, and there will be a SpongeBob area. It says Universal reveals Shrek SpongeBob lands for new theme park in Texas. Universal Destination Experiences recently revealed several themed areas that would be featured at Universal Kids Resort, a new family-focused theme park set to open next year in Frisco, Texas. The resort will include lands based on characters from Shrek, Puss in Boots, Trolls, and Gabby's Dollhouse, SpongeBob SquarePants, Minions, and Jurassic World. My thing is, why is it only for kids? SpongeBob, although I am very grateful that it is still going and people like it still, that is our show, you guys. So please make it adult friendly, because we grew up with SpongeBob. We made SpongeBob what it is. And the fact that it's in a children's park now, I don't know, doesn't sit right with me. Megan Maroney and Benson Boone are on the cover of Rolling Stones right now. I'm hoping these are physical copies, because a lot of these magazines do really cool covers and stories, and then they're only online. And I'm like, really? Really? That's so annoying. That happened to me with the Beyonce W magazine cover. It was only an online thing. And then they released it, limited edition, limited quantity, I should say, magazines, and they were only in New York. And I have a friend that lives there, and I jokingly said to him, I was like, hey, hey, you should go get this for me. And he's like, oh, wait, I might actually stop after work. And he did. And then he brought him to me. He was visiting Utah like 2 weeks later, and he brought him to me. And I'm like, thank you, because I love it. It's actually sitting right behind me right now. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I hope I can buy these magazines because I really want them. And yeah, I love both those people. There's actually like 10 of these covers. It's like the Future of Music edition, so it's like a lot of up and coming artists or artists that are popular right now, but have the potential to be extremely popular, you know? Speaking of extremely popular, Miss Gaga, Miss Mother Monster herself, has scored her seventh number one album with Mayhem. And it is not surprising because I see it everywhere, all over on TikTok. I can't stop listening to it. Especially How Bad Do You Want Me and Don't Call Tonight and Vanishing to You. Those three songs I have been listening to. Like, I just, you know, like when you just love a song so much, you just keep replaying it and you just keep pushing back instead of like letting your playlist shuffle. Like, I just can't get enough of these songs. And it's to the point, right? Because I still love Disease. Disease is still, I think, an amazing song, and it's every time I listen to it, it gets better and better. It's just so good. And Abracadabra, obviously. But I haven't gotten into the mode of listening to them with the album yet, because I'm still trying to. I've listened to those so much. I'm still just trying to listen to the new stuff. So I kind of forget that they're on there. So when I tell people my favorite songs, I always forget to add those in. I just want to make sure it's clear that I love Disease and Abracadabra. Did you guys know? Did you see this little hidden Easter egg? Is that what you call it? Thing in in the Disease music video when she's dancing in between those two houses, and the houses are like the walls are coming together like they're gonna crush her. So when she starts dancing, well, let me fast forward. In the Abracadabra music video, the beginning, she's like, the category is dance or die, and then go back to the Disease music video. And if she stops dancing, the walls start closing in on her. But when she starts dancing, the walls stop. So a little bit of backstory there for you, or what am I trying to say? Behind the scenes, whatever. Anyway, she sold 219,000 units, and 136,000 of those were actual sales, like vinyls and CDs and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. It outsold Tate McRae's So Close to What album. She sold about 200,000, which is still pretty good. And actually, it's really good, actually. But it is the highest debut for a female album this year. So I think, honestly, it might stay that way unless I honestly don't know who else could do it besides Taylor Swift. And I really don't see her releasing anything this year. Honestly, I think she's done for a while. I could be wrong. Tomorrow she could announce Reputation. There's another theory that it's going to happen tonight because it's the iHeartRadio Music Awards. And they had all these theories. She's up for 9 awards, I think. It's on Fox tonight at 7. But I haven't heard anything about this, honestly. Like, today was the first day I heard it. And it was because of this person declaring that Reputation, Taylor's version, was going to be released tonight. Or announced, at least. Anyway, Mayhem is really good. I really encourage everyone to listen to it if they haven't yet. And it's kind of like a mixture of all of Gaga's eras. And it's just really interesting. Like, you'll be listening to one song, you're like, oh, that sounds like The Fame. Or, oh, that sounds like The Fame Monster. Or this is art pop. Or, you know what I mean? So, anyway, it's pretty good. Lisa Barlow, the housewife of Salt Lake, has caused mass chaos confusion because she took out SLC housewife from her bio on Instagram. And I checked last night and it's still that way. But I'm curious as to what's going on. I can't think that she would do this or believe that she would do this because she just is so full of herself. I can't imagine her willingly taking herself off the show unless they fired her. That could be a thing. That has happened. They've gotten rid of people that people like. So we're all kind of curious as to what's going on. And I don't think we'll find out for a long time because the newest season kind of just ended. So I wonder if we're going to get a fall season. I can't imagine they would make us wait a whole other year. Well, I guess this last season started in the fall. Sorry, I'm just kind of piecing everything together in my head right now. I'm guessing we'll get a new season in like October, November. And I'm hoping that means that they'll film more in the summertime in Utah because we get it the snow here, the skiing, the snowflakes, like we get it. But summer in Utah is so pretty and they're just not taking advantage of it. So there, I said it again for the 50 millionth time. Haley Steinfeld's fiance slash quarterback for the Buffalo Bills has just signed a new contract. And I talked about this in my TikToks. My TikToks actually are really fun to make and they're doing a lot better than I thought they would. I've gained quite a bit of followers. So if you're here from my TikToks, hello, welcome. I hope you're enjoying this. This is one of the topics I talked about. He just signed a 6-year contract with the Buffalo Bills for $330 million. $330 million. That is a lot of money. That is so much money. But good for you. I didn't fact check this, but my friends who are obsessed with sports told me that he was like the last picked person and he had to go to like a Wyoming college. He didn't have to, but that's like the only option he had at that point. And now he's like one of the top players in the league. Is that what you call it? The yeah, National Football League. Yeah. And so that just goes to show, don't count everyone out because some people have a lot of potential that you're not seeing. So the contract is for 330 million with a guaranteed 250 million, which I knew that sounded pretty obvious, but I just wanted to double check. That means no matter what, he'll get 250 million. Like if they fire him, if he quits, if he gets injured and can't play anymore, like there's a guarantee he'll get that money. That's $250 million, you guys. That is so that I just oh my gosh. Would you even worry anymore at that point? I know people are like, yes, money's not everything. I get it, but how nice would it be not to have to worry about that? And I'm hoping they're good at their money. I bet they will be. Haley's been in this industry, the Hollywood limelight, for a long time, so I'm sure she's handled her money well. But I'm trying to think, like, where do you put that money? Where does that money go? I've talked about this so many times. I know, I'm aware, but I'm just curious. Like, where does all these rich people's money go? Anyway, so speaking of that, their Normani also got engaged, and I thought this was just some random guy, but no, apparently he plays for it's DK Metcalf. He used to play for the Seahawks, but he now was just traded to the Steelers in a 5-year deal for $150 million. So good job, ladies, for for taking a chance on these men, and it paid off. It really did pay off. Normani, she's a singer, kind of. She was in the girl band Fifth Harmony, and then they all kind of split once Camila Cabello, went her way. Camila Cabello is probably the most famous of them all, and then I would say Normani's next. But she doesn't release anything. She did release an album, but she released a song called Motivation, and it blew up. People were talking about this song, loving it, obsessed with it. And then she just kept saying, album coming next year, album coming next year, album coming next year. And I think 4 years later, she finally released an album. And I'm like, okay, girl, you gotta keep it up. I was thinking the other day, Olivia Rodrigo, I think she'll release something this year. And if that's true, she will have a chance to outdo Gaga in sales. I'm not saying it's a competition. I'm just saying it's that they're on par with each other. But I feel like she'll release something soon because it's been 2 years since Guts. But I was thinking back in 2007-ish, 2008, 2012, the pop girls did not sleep. There was hardly a lag in between their albums. Hardly at all. They would release an album and then usually release a deluxe edition. And then a month later, they would release their next album. And this went on for 6 years. I'm talking Katy Perry. I'm talking Lady Gaga. I'm talking Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj. They truly were not resting at all. And I am so eternally grateful for that. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Let's see. Sarah Paulson, she walked in the Mew Mew show. I think that's how you say it. Mewy Mew show. It's Miu. So take that as what you will. I love when celebrities walk in fashion shows. It's one of my favorite things to see. Miley Cyrus is also rumored to be playing in the new 9 to 5 remake. So what do we have? We had Zendaya. We have now Miley. We have Ariana. And who was the other one? Sydney Sweeney? Was that the other one we talked about a couple weeks ago? I think that is who is in it. And I couldn't it be amazing if all of them were in it. And Jennifer Aniston's production company is producing it. She's producing it. So that's exciting. Nikki Glazer, one of the funniest people on the planet, has announced she will be in the hosting the 2026 Golden Globes. So that'll be good. She did such a good job. She always does. Always. I saw her live too at Kingsbury Hall, unfortunately, but it was worth it to see her. There is a new reality show happening. It's called. Hang on, there's like a trillion ads that popped up at once. Hang on. Come on, please just leave. Anyway, it's got Spencer Pratt in it. If you're wondering who Spencer Pratt is, he's one of the celebrities whose house burned down in the California fires. His wife is Heidi Montag. She has that song that went viral. I'll do it. I think that's what it's called. How can I forget? It was everywhere. But he's going to be in a new reality show. It says Spencer Pratt will compete in Hulu's buzzy new reality series, Got to Get Out, Meet the Cast. Well, Got to Get Out is a name. Meet the Cast is the rest of it. I did not know this till yesterday. Hosted by Simu Liu. He is Shang-Chi in the 7 Rings, 10 Rings, or whatever. He's going to be the host of it. It says the series will see 20 contestants fight to win $1 million prize. Simu Liu is hosting a brand new series featuring all of your reality TV favorites. I don't know all of these people, but I do know like the names, like they sound familiar. So it says on Friday, March 14th, Hulu announced the Barbie alum 35 will be hosting its latest reality TV competition series titled Got to Get Out, featuring a star-studded cast of reality royalty and rookies. So it kind of reminds me of Big Brother or Real World. It's kind of giving me that kind of vibe, but with more money involved, which we love to see. While living under one roof, the 20 television personalities will fight for a chance to win $1 million as they work to get out of the house. Lies and lunacy collide in this exhilarating competition series where an outrageous mix of reality icons and crafty gamers must conspire to get out. In this house, time is money. As the clock ticks up, so does the prize money. The longer they stay, the greater their chance to earn more. They can split the money equally in the end or at any point in time try to make their escape with the accumulated money all for themselves, leaving others to start again at $0. From wild strategies and temptations to shifting alliances and unbelievable escape attempts, the players will try any and every way to make it out of the gate and win the prize. I'm thinking they're trying to do these reality shows now because Traders has done so well. So like now Hulu, Traders is NBC, which is Peacock, and now Hulu is doing it, which is ABC. Okay, let's dive into the cast. So the cast consists of Kim Zolciak, who was from Real Housewives of Atlanta, who's going through a really bad divorce right now and going through some very sad money issues. I shouldn't laugh at that. Cynthia Bailey, I don't know who she is. Demi Burnett, who I think was on The Bachelor, and I think she started dating Ruby Rose. I want to say, I could be wrong. Val Chermovsky from Dancing with the Stars. Claire Crawley, don't know who that is. Rashad Jennings, no. Susan Knowles. Omarosa, I think she's from Real Housewives. Spencer Pratt, he was from The Hills. And then Kim Zolciak. Those are just some of them. Probably the most famous. The newbies, that doesn't matter. We don't need to know those yet. Oh, it says Cynthia Bailey was from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Demi Burnett, The Bachelor, is correct in that. Val, Dancing with the Stars. Claire, The Bachelor. Rashad Jennings, he is a former NFL running back. Interesting. Susan Knowles, The Golden Bachelor. Omarosa of The Apprentice. Wow, that's like a long time ago. Spencer Pratt, The Hills. Kim Zolciak, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then these guys are just... like this one girl is a TikTok influencer. These are all the newbies. Sean Daughtry, MMA fighter. Steven, I do not know how to say that last name. That looks Greek. I should be able to know how to say it, but I don't. Big Brother Canada, 10. Steve Helling, crime TV host. Nick Meltzer, board game designer. So it's just really the most random cast. Rob Roman, the Squid Games, The Challenge. So there you go. This should be interesting. When did it say it started? Okay, it starts on April 11th on Hulu. It's a Friday. So it's called Got to Get Out. And I don't know. I'll probably watch. Might as well. I just don't think anything is going to hold up as well as Traitors. Traitors is just so good. All right, Lisa Vanderpump. She is one of Bravo's biggest stars. She has Vanderpump Rules. That's her show. All the people on that work at her restaurants. And then she was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She was one of the original cast members until she left, I think, the end of season 6 or 7, maybe 8. What are they on now? I think it was season 8. Because her and Kyle got in a fight. And I will say I love Lisa Vanderpump. And I started at season 6 when Erica Jane started the show. And so I didn't see anything before that. And I always wondered why people were so loyal to Lisa, fans, and how much they loved her and stuff. I'm like, yeah, she's good and stuff, but I don't really understand why everyone's so upset that she's leaving. But then I went back and I started watching it from the beginning. I'm on season 4 now, just about to start season 4. And I'm like, okay, I get it. She is a huge part of this show and why it's popular. But her and Kyle got into a fight and Lisa was done. I truly believe that if Lisa's husband were to pass away, I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I think she would change her mind on a lot of things. I think he has a lot of pull in her life and her decisions, but she's also very strong and independent. So I'm not saying he controls her, but I just think he can sway her a lot. Because the stuff she gets mad at is actually really dumb, and it's actually all true, the stuff she's being accused of. And she basically was accused of selling stories to tabloids, and this is not the first time this has been a topic of conversation. So, and a lot of people say the same thing about her. It's very hard to be her friend because she's so calculated, and it's like playing chess with someone because she's always got some move, and she always makes other people say the things she wants to say, but she doesn't say it because then she doesn't get in trouble, but the other person does. So that happens a lot, and people bring that up a lot. So I'm like, okay, when this many people are saying it, it might be true, Lisa. Sorry. Anyway, she's going to have a new hotel in Vegas. She already has, I think, 3 restaurants in Vegas. One at the Paris, one at Caesar's Palace, and I think one somewhere else too. But there's a hotel in the middle of town called the Cromwell. It's just a small one. It's next to the Flamingo, I think, and what's that one? Bally's? It might be Hot Horseshoe now. I love Vegas. I seriously love Vegas so much. But they're turning it into the Vanderpump Hotel, and it'll have 188 rooms, and it'll be ready by early next year. They said the hotel will stay in business and operation until the new hotel is opened. So I don't know how that's going to work, because I know for a fact that Lisa's going to want to remodel the hotel, and to have that, it's just hard. I worked in a company for a business that they sold furniture, and they did this major remodel, and they insisted on staying open during it. And I think that was a huge mistake, because it was just we had to move stuff from this spot to this spot and this spot to this spot, and it just was so tedious, and customers hated it. It was annoying. It was loud. It was dirty. I don't know. I think it would just be honestly better to shut down at least half of it, and do half and then shut down the other half, and do, you know what I mean? It's just never worth it to try and remodel when a business is busy instead of just closing it for a minute and doing it faster, getting the job done quicker, and then reopening. That's just my opinion. I'm not a businessman, but that's just my opinion. This is actually like not news, but I thought it was really interesting. I was reading a book, which, see, you can learn things from reading books. I actually, when I read now, I have a highlighter and I highlight words that I've just learned, and then I Google them, and then I highlight like, what am I trying to say? Like phrases or quotes or something, and then I'll go back after the book is over, and I'll earmark them to, what do they call it? Dog ear them, and then in the back I will write down the word and then the definition and then the quotes that I liked and what pages they were on. Because I feel like that's going to help me learn better, you know, when you have to like write stuff and remember it like that, which is kind of fun. Just kind of my way of learning. Anyway, I was reading The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and I think everyone should listen or read this book because it is very, very good. It's so simple, but it's so effective, and it's just something that everyone can benefit from, I think. But she talked about the founder of Toyota, or one of the founders of Toyota, but the name was spelled Tyoyoda. And I'm like, The founder's name was Kichiro, Toyota, but the Toyota was a D, not a T. And so I was like, that's interesting. I was like, I wonder why they changed that. So I Googled and I found out. It says the company name is Toyota, not Toyota. And so what is that from? It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Because the founder, Kichiro Toyota, preferred the name Toyota with a T because it took 8 brushstrokes to write in Japanese, which is considered a lucky number and also sounded more appealing. Let's see. The name changed. The company changed its name to Toyota in 1937. The reason for the change, I already told you that. The 8 brushstrokes and 8 is the lucky number. What else? There was one other reason. Anyway, that's why. So if you're curious, I don't think anybody was, but this is interesting. Other factors besides the lucky number aspect, the Toyota name was also deemed more streamlined and appealing, and the company wanted to distinguish itself from the agriculture connotations of Toyota, which was originally a loom company. I don't really know what that means, but yeah, I just love finding out stuff like that. Like how fun, how fun is this? But I think it worked because Toyota is like one of the best-selling car brands of all time. So the lucky number 8 worked. Margot Robbie is being considered to play Anna Nicole Smith in a new biopic written by her friends, Anna Nicole's friends. And I think she'd do a good job. Anna Nicole Smith, I just, every time I see her name or think about her, I just feel so bad for her. She was treated so poorly by so many people, and all she wanted to do was just be loved and have people like her. And they said she was like the nicest person ever, but she just could not get out of that loop of people just being mean to her. Anyway, it says Margot Robbie lined up to play Anna Nicole Smith in biopic. Margot Robbie is reportedly... It's the same sentence over again. The film is being put together by 2 of the tragic model/actress's real-life friends, fashion designer Paul Attu and TV producer Patrick Simpson, who have written the script, and they have declared that Barbie star 34 is their number 1 choice for the starring role. Patrick told the Sun newspaper, "We are eyeing Margot, and I think she is our Anna Nicole. After we saw the Barbie movie, Margot was at the screening, and I said, that's our Anna. The way she embodied Barbie, and Paul used to always tease that Anna was the living Barbie. So who better to play her than Margot? I can tell you when we met her, we felt something electric, and it was such a beautiful moment." So it's not like for sure, but it sounds like it's pretty, I don't know, like a pretty good chance that it'll happen. And I think it's like the timing's good because she just had her baby, like what, 4 or 5 months ago. So she'll probably be ready to get back to work. I think she's like one of those people that I don't think can sit still for long, which good for us because we get more content. Kylie Jenner's brand Kai has a new drop, and it is like latex dresses, like bodycon dresses, what they call them. And yeah, they look really good. So if you're in the market for one of those, and I honestly don't think they're that expensive. Like her stuff, when she started this brand, she wanted it to be affordable fashion, but like really good quality and like good designs. So that is what you're getting. She has some like jogger sets that I really want, but it says coming soon, Kai and Poster Girl. Oh, hang on, I have to wait till it goes back. They have jogger sets that I really want, and I think that's really in right now. Anyway, coming soon, Kai/Poster Girl. The latest collaboration marks a new wave of bodycon dresses. Early access March 18th. There we go. Sorry, I had to hurry it before it went away. So there you go. Sharon Stone, she's an actress. She's known for being a great actress. Also friends with the late Rock Hudson. She said she was cast in Another Simple Favor, which is the sequel to the Blake Lively and Anna Faris movie, A Simple Favor. It is about to premiere. It's been at South by Southwest. They premiered it there. But Sharon Stone says Sharon Stone has claimed that she was hired to star in Paul Feig's upcoming movie, Another Simple Favor, but was ultimately dropped from the cast without warning. She said, "I loved being cast and removed from my role unexpectedly for no reason at all." The actress wrote in the comments section of an E! News post about the film on Instagram. Loved it. However, sources close to the production tells Entertainment Weekly that Stone was never officially cast in the dramedy thriller, which is a sequel to 2018's A Simple Favor. They added that no formalized deal was ever made and that Stone never shot any scenes or appeared on set. So there you go. I mean, why would you lie about that though? Like, what would she gain from that? I don't understand. My question is, and I know we can't just like blame everything on Blake Lively, but did she not want her to be on the show? Because I think Sharon Stone doesn't really put up with any nonsense. So, Blake Lively is pretty much all nonsense. So I don't think she would have done well. And maybe Blake was like, no, we're not going to work with her. But I shouldn't say that. That is like probably just like making up stuff. But it's easy to blame stuff on Blake Lively right now. Playboy Cardi has a new album. My friend Lauren told me that. And the music is what the album is called. It has 30 songs. So, you know what? I might start listening to him just on that alone because you know how I feel about long albums. They need to be longer. Lady Gaga's, I think, was 14 or 15 songs. Let's see. I'm just trying to see what songs of his. So he has two, I think, with The Weeknd. Timeless has 673 million streams, and then he has another one with The Weeknd. Let's see. Oh, he's got one with Travis Scott, two with Travis Scott, one with let's see, The Weeknd, and then Kendrick Lamar and Jenny Aiko, I think that's how you say. Another one with Skepta, I've never heard of them. Another one with Travis Scott and Future. Another one with Kendrick Lamar. Oh my gosh, a lot with Travis Scott. Another with Future, Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, and Ty Dolla $ign. Wow, there's a lot. Anyway, go listen if you're into rap music and Playboy Cardi. I'm trying to think. I know he's from a song that I really like, but I can't think of it at the moment. Noah Cyrus has a new song coming out called Don't Put It On Me. I can't remember when that exactly is coming out. The Radical Optimism Tour, which is Dua Lipa's tour, is officially beginning. I think it started Saturday, I want to say. And if not, it's like this week sometime. But I cannot wait to go. This will be my first time going to the Forum in California. That's the big... I mean, there's SoFi Stadium, which is next door. But the Forum is like where a lot of celebrities go. Like, that's where a lot of people go. And usually those shows have a lot of celebrities come and watch them. So I could see some famous people there again. This was interesting. The books in the White Lotus have some kind of meaning. They're not just random props. So like the lady that was in the first season of White Lotus and came to, she's like the therapist and massage therapist or whatever. Now she's moved to Thailand to train there, but she's reading a book by the pool, and it said the book's title is Surrounded by Narcissists, which if you've watched White Lotus, you know like everyone in the show is full of narcissists. The girl, I think from the family, was reading The Beautiful and the Damned, which is an F. Scott Fitzgerald book, and it's about, I think it's about rich people who are, it's just like a, what am I trying to say? Oh, what am I trying to say? Like they're all rich and beautiful, but they're all not happy. I guess you could say like that. That's kind of like the premise of it. And then there was another book that they read too in this, and they all have some kind of meaning to it, but they all tie into the show. The show is just done so well. Like so much thought is put into this. Also, what about last night's episode? There's a lot of jaw-dropping things. I think we all saw the brothers thing coming. Like that's not that shocking. I mean, it is shocking, but we all kind of knew that happened. But what about that one guy's friend, Sam Rockwell, who plays what is his name? Gary? No, what's the British girl's boyfriend's name? Okay, his name is Rick, and he goes to Bangkok because he's trying to find that rich guy who killed his father. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything for you guys, but enough time has passed. But he meets up with his friend Sam Rockwell, and he tells him this like crazy story, and his face the whole time is just like, And then, but did you know Sam Rockwell, the friend he's talking to, is married to Leslie Bibb, who is the friend in the three girls friend group in this current season. She's the one that lives in Austin, Texas, and has the super short hair, and that's his wife. She's also in one of my favorite movies, Confessions of a Shopaholic. I love that movie so much. Anyway, if you haven't watched this show, it is so good. Like every single season is so well done and phenomenal. I love it. Let's see, what episode are we on right now? Is it 6? There's only 8 episodes. See, this is what I hate. These new shows only do a certain amount of episodes, and we're like almost done. I swear it just started. Oh yeah. Gigi Hadid is on the cover of Vogue, and I just had to rebuy the Sabrina Carpenter one I had because I bought it at the airport on my way to Disneyland. I told myself, I was like, I probably should buy this on the way home, because I have learned from over the years of collecting magazines that if you leave a magazine in your backpack, it is going to get ruined. It's going to get bent. It's going to get smudged, especially if I have it next to my backpack. It rubs off the cover, like the ink. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. So we're getting off the airplane, and I shove my giant AirPod Maxes into my bag. And I get to the hotel, and I'm unpacking things, and I take it out, and it has ripped my magazine because I just shoved it onto the magazine, and it ripped it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I've been trying to look for that magazine again. I don't know how long. I checked Barnes & Noble in Phoenix, and I checked Barnes & Noble in Las Vegas, and both of them didn't have it. I'm like, what is going on? So then I started to panic. I went to the movie on Saturday with my cousin. We went to see The Black Bag, which is very good. It's like a spy movie, but it's not a lot of action. I thought it was going to be more action-y. It's more like psychological, like more mental, but it's really good. And I was like, we have got to stop at Barnes & Noble on the way back. She's like, okay. And luckily they had it. They only had a few copies left, but I got it. Don't worry, you guys. Right now, Kim and that man are fighting over the rights to North's name, and it's getting ugly. And all I have to say is, why would you try and start a fight with the Kardashians and Kris Jenner? Like, I just don't understand it. First of all, that man, do you have any money left? Like, you don't have any money. Like, stop trying to. Someone in the comments was like, why haven't they done to him what they did to Britney? And I'm like, that is a very valid point, because he is like off the deep end. He is just causing problems no matter where he goes. Anyway, apparently he wants to use North's name in a song with Diddy. Yes, you heard that correct. He wants to use his name and North West's name in a song with Diddy. I can't even do it. So Kim blocked it somehow because she owns the trademarks to all their kids' names. I'll read it to you here in a minute. He sent her an article which states that she blocked the thing, and he's like, I am never speaking with you again. And then she said, I asked you at the time if I can trademark her name. You said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her. So stop. I sent paperwork over so she wouldn't be in the Diddy song to protect her. One person has the trademark. We agreed when they were born, I would get all of our kids' names and trademarks so no one else would take them. And then he said, amend it or I'm going to war, and neither of us will recover from the public fallout. You're going to have to kill me. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad for her, but at the same time, she knew what she was getting into when she started dating him and getting married and continuing to have children with him. There's not a lot that Kim does that bothers me, but that I never really was on the bandwagon. I mean, I was for a second, like a small second, a fan of him, but I just never liked them together. I didn't. And I knew from the very beginning he was using her for her name, even though people will say, well, he's the one that was able to get her into these big fashion houses. I'm like, yeah, but she would have got there eventually. She didn't need his help. And like, I don't know. Like, I loved Kim before she got into like super big fashion brands. You know what I mean? Like, she had a massive following before. She would have done well. She would have been okay. It would have just been a different route to get there. But when people say like, especially her, she says it a lot. Like, she's like, I wasn't able to do this until he is able to get me in the door and people started taking me more seriously. And I'm like, well, how the tides have turned, because no one takes him seriously anymore. Anyway, I just can't imagine having a father like that at all. Speaking of music, Iggy Azalea is going to war with Universal Music Group because she said that they owe her millions of dollars, like in the range of 8 figures, because they didn't pay her for her music played outside of the United States. And she's been in a battle with them for a long time. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, look at this. Sorry, I just pulled up Pop Crave. Oh my gosh, there's so much that has happened already. Conan O'Brien will host the Oscars again in 2026. Forever 21 may be shutting its U.S. stores after filing bankruptcy for the second time in 6 years. The company's chief financial officer says the brand has been unable to find sustainable path forward given competition from foreign fashion companies. Maybe make better clothes, you guys. Maybe make clothes with like not stupid phrases on them, not with like pictures of tacos on them. Like, make actually good music. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to find this. Oh, Benson Boone teases new music video. We are just getting fed today, you guys. Dress by Taylor Swift has reached 400 million streams. Okay, it says Iggy Azalea slams Universal Music. They owe me millions in royalties. Rapper Iggy Azalea has launched a scathing public attack on Universal Music Group, accusing the global music giant of failing to pay her rightful international royalties. In a series of blunt and furious social media posts, Azalea claimed that the UMG owes her an 8-figure sum and has been deliberately withholding payments for years. They countered her and they were like, we'll pay you $18,000. I just think it's so crazy. Azalea claims UMG stole millions from her. Azalea did not hold back when airing her grievances against Universal Music. She stated that throughout her entire career, she has never received a single royalty payment from UMG for any of her music earnings outside the United States. According to her, the company has effectively stolen millions from her by failing to pay what she is contractually owed. Crazy how in my entire career has never paid a single royalty by Universal Music for anything outside the US. They owe me millions of dollars in back pay that they technically stole from me. As per my contract, I am due payment. She estimates the unpaid royalties reach into the 8-figure range, making this one of the most significant financial disputes between an artist and a major label in recent years. Instead of addressing her claims with a reasonable resolution, Azalea revealed that UMG reportedly responded to her lawyer with a settlement offer of just $18,000. That is so disrespectful. Given the magnitude of the amount she is owed, she called this offer laughable and completely unacceptable. Last week they tried to respond to my lawyer and offer me a settlement of 18,000. She wrote, I am told this is a normal response from their lawyer, and after appearing in court, they end up paying millions as they're supposed to. Her comments suggest that UMG is known for lowballing in legal disputes. And then she says something. She's like, thankfully, I'm well off and can and will pursue this issue until they pay me what they owe. But I'd like to publicly say that I think Universal Music are criminals who are actively taking advantage of all of their artists in perpetuity. Ooh, I do not know how to say that word. Perpetuity for their own gain. Sorry, it took me a second, but I got there. She went on to call UMG the scummiest company. She's been doing this for 2 years, though, in a battle for them for 2 years. Crazy. The music industry is a crazy, crazy thing. I think UMG is what Taylor Swift is signed to, which I'll never understand why she signed with a big label again. I just want to know what they can do that Taylor Swift can't do, or maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe there's something that she doesn't want to deal with, and they will. And she's just so big, they know that they'll let her do whatever she wants. Anyway, Will Smith has a new album coming out, so the slap must have been so detrimental that he has to start making music again. And last but not least, Eva Longoria, Sweet Gabby from Desperate Housewives, has turned 50. She does not look 50. That's probably her most notable role, but yeah, crazy. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Go make sure you're following me on TikTok. I think all of you are by now, but you never know. Follow my podcast TikTok page and my Instagram TikTok page. And if you want to see me, pictures of me, go and follow my page. What else? If you want to listen to extra episodes, you can go subscribe to my Patreon page. It's $5 a month, and you get 2 episodes more a month on there. It's kind of like a little hangout for us. But other than that, thank you so much, and have a great week. It is almost this week. Oh my gosh, you guys. What will it be on Friday? Friday is the first day of spring, you guys. Oh my gosh. We did it. We did it, you guys. Anyway, love you. Bye.